So I won the die roll for like the first time in quite some time. Pretty happy about that. This is my opening hand here. It's not amazing, but at the same time, there's no way I'm like sending this one back. It definitely has a lot of potential, and it's pretty solid. So keep it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, mine seems like a very average draw for this this kind of deck. I mean, I have both my colors, which is nice, and basically this is just a lands and spells type of hand. Hopefully, he doesn't have a ton of removal, and this hand will be able to overwhelm him, but we'll see. So you're up first.
All right, I'm gonna begin with this. There you go.
Okay. Alrighty. Don't think this is gonna get much use this game, but we'll see. I'll start off with Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Okay. Alright, so we can do a number of things this turn. Basically, like, we have these as options, and I think I'm going to go with this. So we're going to play Aggro Bolas.
Sure.
And we're going to hit Lingering Souls.
Sweet. I think it's important to note that I'm actually completely blind on the cards in your deck. Like, I know, like, vaguely what's in them, so
yeah.
This is going to be kind of interesting for me to try to play around, like, all your various removal spells. And so since you have Lingering Souls, I don't think that changes my play. It definitely doesn't change it this turn, but I'm not sure how it's going to affect my play much. We'll just play the Blade Splicer on 2.
Sure.
And be done.
Yep. Alright, so we can do a number of things here. We can cast the Lingering Souls that we got last turn. We could play this. We could just pass. Really like a number of options here, and I actually think I want to go with this because I want to hit a dig spell basically. So we will go ahead and play another Aggro Bolas. And we'll take a Forbidden Alchemy. So.
Sweet. Okay.
And I'm done.
Alright, so we're going to untap. And we're just going to attack for 3 with our Golem token.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and chump it.
Sure. Now, what this signifies to me is that he probably has a Day of Judgment in hand, and he's not necessarily planning on using it next turn, but he wants to have the option to, and he doesn't want to take a bunch of damage. So, I mean, it could be wrong, but I'm still going to pass the turn. Like, I could play around Mana Leak, but I'd with this card, but I'd much rather just pass the turn and not like run into a Day of Judgment. So,
all right. So him passing the turn basically signifies that he has a Restoration Angel, or else he would probably have played something this turn. So my inclination is to believe he has a Restoration Angel, in which case I'm just going to play a Swamp, and we're just going to pass the turn back.
Okay, well, I will attempt the Restoration Angel since he did not show me a second white and did not really do anything. So,
all right. So a couple options here. We can basically do this, or we can do this, and at this point in the game, I think we're going to go for this to try to hit what we need for this. So we're just going to say that resolves.
Okay.
Yep.
So I get another Golem. And, like, this is kind of dangerous, obviously. Like, I could very easily just lose to Day of Judgment, like, next turn off of a white. And he already showed me the Forbidden Alchemy, so even though he doesn't have the white, you can very easily dig for it, so. Well, that was a pretty good draw, but I think I want to deal as much damage as I can here. So what we're going to do is we're going to dismember his Aggro Bolas. Paying the 4 life.
Okay.
Sends me down to 16. And we'll worry about that in a second. I'm going to play my land. And then I'm going to swing for 10.
Alright. I'll take 10.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alright. End of turn, I'll go ahead and cast Alchemy.
Sure.
Alright, well, we're going to keep this. This is what we were looking for, so go for the Throat Swamp Suntight in the yard.
Okay, so usually when your opponent puts like at least one or like two very good spells into the graveyard off of Forbidden Alchemy, it's safe to assume that the card they keep is a land. And like since we weren't sure if he was digging for another white source, if he plays another white source this turn, I think that could help like give that extra information. So.
Yeah. So Todd did not attack with Avacyn's Pilgrim, which basically means that he has a second angel in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be like merit in trying to wait and get all of his angels, but I don't want to take a lot of damage. And since we're at 10 life,
threatening lethal in play too. So.
Yeah, he's threatening lethal. So I mean, I could play this in chump, but since we're at 10, we would only take 3 from his angel, so I think it's safe to just cast a Day of Judgment.
I'm gonna float a white off of the Pilgrim,
Yep.
and then let Day resolve.
Okay, and I'll move to my next step.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast Angel after Day resolves.
Okay.
Doop.
And here we go.
And now I very much need to draw a land to kill him. Or not kill him, but deal him a ton of damage. Or no, I think it does kill him actually. How many cards do you have in hand?
5.
Yeah, so if I draw a land, you're exactly dead. Rats.
Did not draw the land.
Did not draw the land, so we're just gonna bash you for 3.
I'm at 7.
And I'm gonna play Blade Splicer. I don't think he has a second Day of Judgment, and I mean they don't usually. I mean he could have like another one obviously, but usually they don't play more than like 2, max 3 main deck, and I think it's much more likely he. Go ahead. It's much more likely he has a spot removal spell. And I'd much rather threaten lethal next turn. So.
Alright, well, we do have a second Day of Judgment.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I don't think I can play around it. So.
And say go.
Day of Judgment is a card that's very good against this type of deck. So. All right. Well, luckily we drew a sweet one. Strangleroot Geist.
So we could do this, but I don't know if we care that much about that because we have this and this. So, but I actually think we want to start tapping out, so I'm just going to Mana Leak it.
Okay. And I'm done. Probably dead. Really need to draw that land a turn before to kill him with the something or another in my hand. I assume you can figure it out.
Yep. I'm going to play Lingering Souls.
Sure. And also flashback or no?
Nope. Just going to cast it. And
Okay.
That's it. And, yeah, just say go.
Bop.
Sure.
I don't really want to cast this card in a Mana Leak, and since he didn't flashback the Lingering Souls, there's 2 options. He's either got a second Forbidden Alchemy, which he's going to cast, some other draw spell, which is unlikely, or he was trying to play around something. I think, in my head, I think he has a second Forbidden Alchemy, and I'm wary to cast a sword into a Mana Leak, but I need to draw another land next turn to play around Mana Leak with the sword, and also he could like just cast Mana Leak and tap me out, so it sort of time walks me, and I think it's better to just cast the sword, so I'm going to.
Alright, resolves.
Go.
Alright, I'll cast another Alchemy. Alright, so this is really good. We want to basically draw something like this, so keep this and put these in our graveyard.
Alright, so Sun Titan get back O-Ring, kill sword.
Yeah, this is also in our graveyard. Draw. So, yeah, we'll play Sun Titan. And, see, I don't think we have any images in here.
Nope,
So,
we have Augurs and Oblivion Ring.
yeah, so we're going to get back O-Ring on his sword. And, you've taken 2 so far?
4 from my Dismember.
Yeah, 4 from your Dismember. So you're
Yep.
at 16.
Correct.
14. I guess we will go ahead and attack.
Sure. I'll take 2 down to 14.
Okay. Go ahead.
Alright, now I have a pair of Oblivion Rings in my deck that can get my sword back. I have another sword. But other than that, I don't think there are many cards I can draw to really get out of this particular situation. So Well, that's a good start, I guess.
That's pretty good.
So he is still at 7, right?
Yep.
I guess I'll go ahead and equip, but like, I mean, I don't plan on chum blocking. I'm at 14. I can take another hit, and then I'm gonna start gaining some life next turn. But I guess I'll just be done.
Okay.
You can get back Augur and try to dig for another go for the throat or a Doomblade or something, but I still don't think I'm going to win. I had the one turn where I had an opening, and I missed it. I could have been much better off, obviously, if I cast the sword on the turn where I cast the Blade Splicer when I had the Restoration Angel in play. Because then, if all he has left is Day of Judgment, he's using it to kill the Angel, and then next turn I play Blade Splicer. Then I have 2 creatures.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and attack for 8 here. I'm going to return Augur Bolas.
Yeah, that's going to put me to 6.
Oh, and we brick, unfortunately. Yep, so you're now at 6. We will cast another Augur Bolas. And we'll take Mana Leak. Sure. And then I'm going to Phantasmal Image the Birds of Paradise.
Okay. You have 2 cards in hand?
2 cards. Go ahead.
Alright. And all we drew was a land. Can only hit you for 4, and you're at 7, so I'm dead.
Go.
So, now that I know he has Mana Leak, my plays could start to change. A lot of the Solar Flare decks, as of late, don't play Mana Leak, or only play like 2 of them. And it's still possible he's only playing 2, but he did draw 2 pretty quickly, so.
And Sword of War and Peace is like a huge issue for Solar Flare. It's basically like the worst card that you want to, like, you definitely don't want to see that card. It's the worst card they can play against you.
Yeah, like turning every one of my threats into like a much stronger weapon against you is pretty awesome. And
the Pro White is just huge with like Lingering Souls being a large part of my strategy.
yeah,
Just inability to block whatever creature you put it on is a big deal.
yep. So I definitely could have played a little bit differently that game to have a chance. I mean, obviously, it started to slip away from me the turn where I didn't draw the land to play and equip the sword, but I could have played a little bit differently by playing the sword that turn instead of playing the Blade Splicer. That would have left me less vulnerable to a secondary Day of Judgment. But I mean, sometimes like you just have to make the higher risk play, but especially because like if he just untaps and casts a Sun Titan and all I have is a Restoration Angel, like he can get back, you know, like some. Or no, I guess no. That's a bad analogy because you didn't have an Oblivion Ring.
I didn't have one in my yard. No.
So. Yeah, I think I might have just misplayed.
I probably would have ended up casting the Day of Judgment just on your Angel if you followed Sword, just to take away that option.
Yeah.
But
I just figured it was much more likely you had one Spire Removal spell as opposed to a second Day of Judgment, and I wanted to have more threats in play. But alright, so I'm going to be able to play this game. Let's go ahead and take a look at our opener. Unfortunately, I don't think we can keep this, even though it has, like, you know, the best card that we have in our deck against him. We just aren't doing anything for the first couple turns, and I just don't think we can really keep a hand like that, so we're going to ship it back.
mine is a 1-lander, which is a pretty obvious mulligan. So. I think this matchup is interesting because normally Solar Flare is just like hugely favored against decks like this, but I think that your green-white deck actually has a number of like stuff like Oblivion Ring and Sword of War and Peace kind of give you another dimension against my deck.
I agree.
That like most aggressive decks just don't really have those options. So.
Yeah, and not to mention that like a lot of my threats, like Thragtusk and Shunguru Geist are hard to
Day of Judgment
kill. Yeah. I mean, I'm still left with a creature afterwards, and I think it'll be much better after board when I get to side out all these dismembers and have more swords in their place and Dahlias and stuff like that to slow you down. But this hand is very good, so we'll keep this one.
This hand is very bad. I'm tempted to keep it, but I think we probably have better odds going to 5. So. It's 5 lands, Sun Titan. All right. Yeah, we're keeping this. This is a pretty good 5. So.
All right, so we're gonna lead with a Birds of Paradise and pass turn.
All right. Dark Slick Ponder.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll keep this.
All right, now I have the option to cast either of these 2 cards on this turn. I think it's much more important. I mean, if I cast this card, it plays around Mana Leak, but if I just cast this card and next turn I go to equip, if he has a spot removal spell, I just get absolutely destroyed. So I think we just want to cast the Blade Splicer this turn to make a Golem and be done.
I'm just gonna play this, and we're done. Actually, I think. Yeah, I actually think we're going to go for the 3 birds.
Sure.
Yeah. I think we just want to buy ourselves some time here. So.
Alright, unfortunately we whiffed on land, but we do have a Rancor on a Blade Splicer and a Golem, so we're going to smash for 6.
Yep,
Since we don't have many other options, just going to put you at 14.
I'm at 14.
And I'm still at 20, and I'll be done.
Alright, Lingering Souls. Sure. And I'm done.
Alright, so oops, we'll go ahead and declare attack. I don't really mind if he blocks the Blade Splicer. He's still going to take some trample damage, so he's going to...
Actually, so if I block his Blade Splicer here, he gets the Rancor back and can put it on the Golem. That could end up being a bigger problem than what we're currently looking at. So I actually think I'd rather have the Rancor on the Splicer itself. So I'm just going to chunk the Golem and take 3.
So you take 3 down to 11.
Yeah.
Luckily we drew land. I'm going to go ahead and play my Sword of War and Peace and pass turn.
So we are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
It's always good to hear.
Really not entirely sure how we're going to possibly win this. But we'll flashback Lingering Souls.
Sure.
And I don't think there's any value in... Let's see, puts a sword on. 8, 10, 11. I think we go ahead and attack for 1.
Sure. 19.
Go ahead.
Alright, so at this point, I don't really want him to be able to kill my Blade Splicer anymore. So even though I can... I mean, I can move the Rancor over if he blocks and kills this, but I think we just want to have as many guys in play as possible when we have a Sword of War and Peace, so I'm going to equip the Blade Splicer with the sword.
Go. That's fine.
Alright. And attacks.
Alright, so we're going to block here. We can't block here, so we're going to take 5, 6, 7, 8.
Alright, so you take 8 down to 3. I'll gain 3 up to 22.
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and play my land and pass the turn.
Alright. What we need is a miracle.
Do you have Terminus?
No, that's not going to do it. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're dead.
So his mulligan 5 obviously didn't help him, but the Sword of War and Peace would have been rather difficult for him to beat anyway. And even if you had your Oblivion Ring to deal with it, I had my own to get it back, which was nice.
Right.
Day of Judgment there would have been like okay to buy you some time. I still had a Restoration Angel that I could have put the Rancor and the sword on, which was awesome. But all right, so we're gonna move to sideboarding now. I guess we can do it kind of simultaneously, like just talk about cards we want to bring in, and then we can figure out what we want to bring out after that. So.
So these are all the cards I'm considering bringing in. Basically, just more removal, revoke and Stony Silencer for like his swords, basically, and you know if he has something like O-Ring, you know, even though I didn't see an O-Ring, I would assume that a deck like this would have at least some on the sideboard. So.
I'm not really sure if Rancor should still be in my deck in this matchup. I know I want to cut Dismembers. But Rancor is the other card I'm currently looking at. I want as many threats as possible. I like having the ability to have Thalias in my deck. I like having Acidic Slimes to be able to kill some of his lands to keep him off of Sun Titan. Other than that, I'm not really sure. Like, these are all cards I'm considering, but I'm actually not positive how I'm going to sideboard just yet. But these are cards I'm okay to take out, and I think I definitely want swords. I guess Thalia might be better than Acidic Slime. What do you think about these 7 versus these 7? Like, how afraid of you are you of this card? Like, it's pretty good against Lingering Souls, right?
Yeah.
Like, since you have Lingering Souls, isn't this card just not that good?
Yeah, it's not that good.
Yeah, okay. And you also have Aggro Bullets too, so.
Yeah. Feast and Famine is not that great against this deck.
Would you rather have like O-Ring or Thragtusk or Rancor? Like I can leave in like a pair of Rancors and just bring in like these 5.
I mean, I don't think Thragtusk is that great against me.
Okay.
So.
Do you think I want more Oblivion Rings? I can also side out the other 2 Thragtusks that are in my deck. Actually, Wolf or Silverheart probably comes out against you.
I mean, I think Silverheart's better than Thragtusk, to be honest.
Well, you have a lot of removal, right? I'd much rather have creatures that survive like Sweepers and mass removal. So, I mean, we can do like.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Although I think a lot of times in this deck you just want to try to kill as fast as possible. Like
Sure.
You don't want to try to play to a late game.
Yeah, but Wolf or Silverheart also like just doesn't do much against Lingering Souls either, and Rancor does, which I like. So.
Right.
So I'm probably looking at minus these 5. For these 5, I think I'm gonna keep 3 Rancor and just leave 2 Oblivion Ring for now, and I might side more in later. So.
I'm probably not gonna bring the Sever in. I like the card, but his deck has a variety of like threats, so we're not going to get much more than a 1-for-1 out of it, and I think we'd rather have something like Day of Judgment. I'm going to side 1 Lingering Souls for Timely, basically just make that swap, and then I'm bringing out like the Unburial Rites because it's really slow and our creatures aren't really dying to your deck unless we kill them ourselves with Day of Judgment. Mana Leak is fine, but it's not like exciting in the same regard. And like against a deck that plays like 1-drop mana accelerants, I'm not a huge fan of Mana Leak. Cutting 1 Alchemy just to speed our deck up a bit, and then Liliana, because again you have like a lot of creatures like Blade Splicer that just makes Liliana weak. And I want to bring in like Deadweight's Doomblade, Deadweight's on Titan's great, another Image for like Strangled Geist and Blade Splicer, and then Stony Silence for your swords, Revoke for O-Ring and swords and stuff. So.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll be back for game 3 in just a second. All right, so Brian's going to be on the play this game. This was our first sideboarded game. I'm feeling a little better about the games after sideboarding because I get to get rid of Dismember, which is virtually dead against you. I mean, you have stuff like Lingering Souls that I can kill a half of a first cast, so basically a quarter of a Lingering Souls for the paltry cost of 4 life. I can kill an Aggro Bolus, which gains you a card.
Right.
Just not
and
very good.
Pretty mediocre body in general. So.
Yep. Right. Usually it's just a chump blocker anyway, right? So.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna keep this hand. This is not amazing, but it's fine.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm definitely keeping, but again, I'm not excited about this particular keep. I mean, it's possible that this is just kind of like what the deck does. You just have to keep hands that just sort of do nothing, but they apply pressure, which is good, but they don't really interact other than attacking. So I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, I mean, I think your deck That's going to be the majority of your hands?
Right.
So, go.
Alright, we'll lead with a Birds of Paradise.
Okay, I'll go ahead and crack this. Get planes. Not exactly what we were hoping to draw. Go ahead and play Augur Bolus.
Sure.
And we bricked.
That's good for me. Unfortunately, the Stringer Geist is looking a little awkward, but we do have the Blade Splicer to put some pressure on him, so we'll go ahead and cast that, and we'll be done.
Well, it's not terrible, but let's say go. Draws have been less than exciting. Bricking on Augur really hurt us a lot too.
Alright, we'll just crash for 3 with the Golem token.
Go ahead and block the Augur.
Sure. And we'll pass turn.
So passing the turn here means he very likely has a Restoration Angel, but we were just going to cast a Day of Judgment anyway.
We'll float a white.
Yep.
The Angel after the day resolves.
Yep. It's your go.
Taking away all my synergy, son.
Sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you. Alright, so we're going to cast a Strangaroo Geist.
Yep.
And attack for 5.
Alright.
And
15.
Second main. We play a land and Thalia.
Ugh.
Hopefully this hurts him a lot. Go ahead. If he has another Day of Judgment, this is obviously terrible. Assuming he has another land as well. But,
Alright, well, we are going to go ahead and 5-mana DOJ. Sadly, I still don't think we're in great shape to win this game, but...
well, I mean, you're still at, what, 15, right? So, yeah. I mean, I'm still having to do a lot of work to beat you. Go ahead and crash for 3.
12.
I don't see any reason to play this Bird's Paradise, so I'm just going to hold it and pass the turn.
Alright, well, that was awesome. That was pretty much the perfect draw in this situation, so we're just going to jam the Sun Titan.
Sure.
Get back Augur Bolus.
Okay.
And Forbidden Alchemy.
I would say how lucky, but that's pretty standard for Brian.
Yeah.
So.
Go.
Alright. Drew just what we wanted in a land, but we had this Oblivion Ring anyway.
Yep. Assume the Titan is going to...
Titanus Maximus. Hit you for 3.
Oh, we'll go to 9.
Sure. And now I think I do want to play this bird. If I draw a sword, I'm going to want to have a flyer to put it on. So we'll just play it past the turn.
Alright, well that was also very good. We'll ponder.
Oh, look at their Lingering Souls. Timely Reinforcements. Well, double DOJs are really kicking my teeth in. How many are you playing?
3. Yeah.
I was hoping you'd say 2 so I could get mad.
No. Not exactly. I think we want to keep this and use this. Yeah, we'll keep it like, I guess, yeah, we'll keep it in this order here. And I guess actually we can't cast this, so that does change things. But we'll play this. And I'm just going to deadweight your Bird's Paradise.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe a waste, but I just want to prevent him from being able to deal damage to me either through Rancor or if he like draws a sword or whatever. Probably drew a Sundive. Block and activate Vaults.
Sure. So you're going to gain a life up
So
to
10.
10.
Yep.
Possibly possible I should not have traded there, but I'll pass through.
Alright, so I don't want to draw this card that's on top of my deck, so in my upkeep, Forbidden Alchemy.
Sure.
And I think we'll tap like this.
You're not activating the vault this turn, right? So you should definitely
Yeah, I guess I
tap
should.
the vault.
Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna activate the vaults. One of these days we'll get there. So, all right. And that was pretty gross. So we'll put these 3. There.
Get rid of all those lands.
Draw for turn.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean that is nice. That is
I
nice.
mean, whenever I like get rid of lands like that and I'm flooded, it's basically just like equating it to Ancestral Recall or whatever. So.
All right, we'll just play Stony Silence. Say go.
Go.
Go. Resolves.
Your turn.
Alright, I'll flashback Forbidden Alchemy.
If you've noticed, I stopped talking a lot because I have nothing to do.
And that's a pretty easy choice.
Oh, Sun Titan, realistic.
It actually is very realistic. It's actually surprisingly realistic.
Too bad it's not legendary, then I could just kill my Oblivion Ring and kill both your Sun Titans.
Yeah,
But.
so Sun Titan, get back Phantasmal Image, get back Dead Weights on your...
I'm going to draw 5 cards and see if I can win the game.
Alright.
Nope.
Okay. Awesome. Still had all these.
Oh, yeah.
Off the top, yeah.
How'd you know there's a Day of Judgment on top?
I didn't. Just always there for me.
Scumbag BBD.
Well, you say
Alright.
to this thing where I cut it there when I shuffled. No, it's good.
Alright, I'm going to make one small change. I think I definitely want the 4th Rancor because it allows me to apply more pressure without adding anything really to the board. I'm not sure if these Green Sun Zenith are actually doing much other than just creating more Strangarugeist, but since he has Augur of Bola, Strangarugeist isn't even that good. So I'm going to cut the 2 Zeniths, and I think I'm going to cut a Thalia as well. I mean, it's fine against him, but it's not that good. I'm going to bring in a Rancor and 2 more Oblivion Rings. I want more ways to kill his Oblivion Rings as well as be able to actually kill a Sun Titan, so I'm not dead to it.
I think I'm just going to stick with what I got. I'm pretty happy with this.
Since he showed me Stony Silence too, I'm not sure how many he's playing. I mean, I personally know, but if I was on this end of the table in like a tournament, I would think maybe he had 2 of them, and so I'd want another answer to that so that it turned on my Feast and Famines, or War and Pieces.
Right.
S words of various varieties.
I'm going to do a pile here. Make sure all those lands are back in.
Alright, so I'm going to be on the play this game. This is the second game with sideboarding, game 4. Hopefully we have a good one. Yeah. I honestly don't think we can mulligan this hand, but it is kind of weak. We do have a solid 2 and 3, as well as a mid to late game plan without having to put any more on the board, so I think we're going to keep it, although I'm not happy about it.
This hand is basically like the nut average. It's acceptable, but I'm not like, going crazy about it. One thing though, we're definitely getting a taste of how good these guys are, so we'll keep it though. The old Sun Petal go. I see it. I'll raise it. Glacial.
Bang.
18.
Here comes Mr. Augur Bolus to ruin my day.
So he's a 2-1. So if I were to play like a 1-3, would that be good?
If you played like an 0-3, that'd be pretty decent. I think a 1-3 would be pretty good. Okay.
Alright, yeah. Well,
I mean, that's obviously one of the reasons why he's in the deck.
Yeah.
Like, not specifically for Strangarugeist, but there are a lot of creatures in the format that are pretty small, so.
So we have a couple options here, actually, which is the first time we've had multiple options. But definitely taking this because we need to hit something for this. And we don't really need this right now because we have this. So we'll take this. Ponder. Go.
Now, I'm actually tempted to just jam my Strangarugeist into his Augur of Bolas, because if he blocks, that means I'm going to be able to attack next turn. But, yeah, I think that's actually fine. Although, like, next turn, if like if I'm playing Blaze Splicer this turn regardless, but like if I attack next turn, he's just going to block the Strangergeist anyway, unless I just attack with a Golem. So it really just depends on what I want to do over the next few turns. I don't think I'm going to attack because I think I'm just going to attack with the Golem over the next like 2 turns and kind of hope that he chump blocks, and that gives me like a window to attack more with the Strangergeist and without having to put the Undying counter on it. But we'll see go.
Okay. So that may change our options a bit. We can do this, or we can do like these two, and I actually think we probably want to do these two because the interaction between the two of these, we can ponder and then take one card we like and then use this to get rid of the card we don't like. So,
like ponder over there.
So out of these cards,
We have another Augur.
We could use a land, but I kind of want a swamp. So I think I'm actually just going to shuffle here and just go for whatever we naturally draw. Draw this, and we'll play another Augur.
Yep.
And Woodbrick.
Yes.
Go.
So you're saying there's a chance. Alright. So I don't see any need really to apply much more pressure to the board than what we're doing right now. I'm just going to jam with a Golem.
I think we're just going to block. We want to preserve our life total as much as possible.
Alright. Here's something that I'm not sure if this is actually me just overthinking. I'm going to play a Gavany Township and sort of telegraph that I'm trying to wait, that I need another land to activate Township, so that maybe he thinks that I don't have Restoration Angel in hand and I'm just trying to draw another land next turn, not put any more creatures into play. I mean, obviously this is just a serious overthink now that I'm thinking about it, but I could just play the other land in my hand, and then he's just going to like automatically put me on Restoration Angel. But by playing the Township, I might be like signifying that I'm just waiting on another land to start activating Township. So we're just going to be done. Again, probably a serious overthink, but
So we're definitely playing. We could play either of these cards, but we want to hit land drops, so we're going to just cast Forbidden Alchemy main phase here.
sure.
And we do hit what we want, so we have to put some good ones in the yard, but we get a Dark-Slip Shore. So.
Okay. Now I can play
Let's
Restoration
go.
Angel here and put a bunch of pressure on him, but I'm almost positive that I'm just going to get Wrath, so I don't think I really want to do that. So we're just going to untap, draw, and check with everybody.
Alright, so I'm going to block his Strangleroot here.
Okay. Now what this does for him is it forces me to either let it die, and then it's just going to die to Day of Judgment, or I can pump it, deal him some extra damage. He's at 18 still. I think I just let it happen, because either way I'm going to get counter on my guy, and I'm almost positive he's just going to day next turn. And even though I could deal 2 more damage, I'd rather be able to flash this Angel in at the end of turn. So 3, 4, you're at 14?
I'm 14.
Alright, go.
And by making the play that I just did right there, if he does use Gavany Township, it puts a counter on his Strangleroot Geist, so when I Wrath, he loses the Geist too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Like, regardless of my either using a Township or not, it's going to get a counter on it. So
Yeah.
you should definitely block there.
So even though he is, basically telegraphing an Angel, I just have to jam this Day of Judgment.
Yeah,
So
I agree. It was probably a mistake, actually, to attack with the Strangleroot Geist last turn. I probably should have just attacked with the Golem, and then end of turn Townshipped if you didn't cast Day of Judgment.
and I'm done.
Alright, and then we'll end of turn Angel.
Yep. So we're really hoping we don't get Worn Pieced here.
You're not getting Worn Pieced here.
Awesome.
Just going to hit you for 3
All right, we're at 11.
and play a Thraggles.
That's pretty good.
Alright, we're gonna gain 5 up to 25. Now, if he has his second Day of Judgment again, then we have a 3/3 left over, which is nice, so go.
Alright, so that will be good at some point. But I think our line here is these two cards. So we're going to cast Timely Reinforcements.
Sure. That's going to put you up to 17 and give you 3 creatures.
Yep. So this gives us some chumps for Thrag Tusk and buys us 6 life, buys us plenty of time. It's pretty much exactly what we want. We'll say go.
Well, that weren't bad. I'm going to play Rancor onto my Thrag Tusk, so that now it's a very relevant threat.
I'm going to respond with Go for the Throat on it.
Rats. Alright, so since the Thrag Tusk dies before the Rancor resolves, the Rancor's not actually in play to trigger its ability because it says when it is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, and it was never actually on the battlefield. And that's one way to kill Rancor outright. For anyone.
Right. It just it's basically the same as Mana Leak. It's like countering it with a counter spell.
Right.
In terms of how it works.
Hit you for 3.
Alright, I'm at 14.
And play a Hero of Bladehold.
Pretty good.
Go. Just playing Fatty Boom Booms. Hope he doesn't have a second Day of Judgment. If he does, we're in trouble, obviously. But if we don't play the hero and he just casts a Sun Titan, then he gets back like Oblivion Ring, kills the Angel, and he has like 9 power versus my Beast.
Alright, so we drew a land, so we're going to play a Sun Titan. Now, I think that there's a good chance he has Oblivion Ring in his hand. So, for that reason, I don't want to get back something like an Aggro Bolus, because I can't count on my Sun Titan still being here, and I want to make sure he doesn't attack with hero.
Right.
So I'm going to get back my own Oblivion Ring on his hero.
Okay.
I'm fine with taking another 3 from a Restoration Angel. So, and he probably would have used a Worn Piece if he had it already. If not, we're taking a lot. So,
always top deck it, but I don't really top deck my swords.
I am not sad for you in the least. So,
so this is looking like we're in dire straits. We can just play out our hand and start activating Township for the rest of the game, I guess. I don't think he really wants to trade off his Sun Titan here with an attack, but we're going to attack for 3.
Okay.
To 11.
Yep.
And we're going to play out a Bird, a Pilgrim, and a Blade Splicer.
Alright.
It's now, basically we're all in. If he has a way to kill all our creatures, we're just dead. And we're just going to try to rely on Gavany Township to get us there. So, go.
We're going to hope Gavany Township doesn't get him there. That's a reasonable draw. Another land is reasonable for us here. So, we will start by attacking with Sun Titan and putting in an Augur Bolus.
Sure.
An Augur.
I don't know what's in your hand, but it's not an unreasonable play to like main phase a Flashback of Alchemy. That way, if you hit an image, you get to bring into play copy Sun Titan, and you basically get an extra Sun Titan. But
yeah, that's definitely a line of play. But I want to play the cards on hand.
Sure. I'm going to actually double block with these two because I need to try to get Sun Titan out of play. If you have a removal spell, you're more than likely going to be killing my Restoration Angel anyway. So we're going to double block.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and Doomblade the Golem token.
Sure. And both the tokens are going to die.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Now at least we have a chance to beat him with flyers, I hope. Since we have a bird that can get townshipped as well as a Restoration Angel.
So now we have... we could play both these cards, or we can use Ghost Quarter on his Gavany Township.
Oh, man.
So, this play is better if he rips War and Peace this turn. But if he doesn't rip a War and Peace this turn, I'd rather use the Ghost Quarter.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's...
But I think I'm okay with him actually activating Township a single time. No, I think it's probably better. We're going to play O-Ring on his Restoration Angel.
Alright.
And then I'm just going to go ahead and Ghost Quarter that.
So gross.
Just hope he bricks for a turn here.
It's kind of what his deck does is just have like the answers for every point. Like, you know, when he had the removal spell in response to the Rancor, that was really bad. Drawing the land for the Sun Titan to get back Overing to kill Hero was really bad. That weren't bad. Alright, so I drew Oblivion Ring. I have no idea what to target. I kind of want to just kill your Sun Titan, but if I kill the Oblivion Ring that has my Restoration Angel, I get to blink my Blade Splicer, get a Golem and an Angel back. I can double block the Sun Titan, and you're not really getting much back except for an Augur. But I can double block the Sun Titan with the Angel and the Golem, and threaten to kill it. But if he has another removal spell, then I just lose. I think I still have to hit the O-Ring. So we're going to take your O-Ring, get back Angel, and target Blade Splicer.
Okay.
Alright, so we get a Golem. And attack for 0. Go.
Alright.
Yeah, him killing my Gavany Township was pretty devastating, but most of his plays have been pretty bad for me, so.
Alright, let's start by casting Augur Bolus and see what we get here,
Sure.
if anything. We brick.
Charles Whiffington.
Yep. Not only do we brick, put 3 cards we wanted on the bottom, which is bad.
Gross.
So if we attack with the Sun Titan here, we will basically just trade with his Angel and get back like an Augur or a Ghost Quarter. But I think since we're at 11, we can't like sit back too long and not do anything. So I actually am gonna attack with Sun Titan here.
Sure.
This may be a mistake, but we'll get back Augur Bolus.
Well, if you hit a Doomblade or something on the top 3, that's going to be pretty bad
Yeah.
for me. Like, then I just can't win.
Well, we'll just brick on every Augur.
Look, man, I gotta try to. I gotta have a little bit of luck over here. So.
Yeah. Kill the Angel. Sure. So. And we'll play this.
No.
Go.
Go for the throat. All right, attack.
All right. We're just gonna put
Everything.
No, I'm not going to put everything because then he can kill all 3 soldiers. We're just going to put
That's
these.
a terrible attack.
I'm going to put these 4 in front of it.
Yeah, I can just kill an Augur. Yeah, that was stupid.
All right.
Whee! Your turn. This is definitely a spot where I would want another Gavany Township. Unfortunately, we only have one left in the deck, so. It's only silence is shutting down our swords. You know, he's got a bunch of creatures in play, so it's going to be hard to fight through all this.
We are going to attack with these. Start by doing this. If he drew an Angel, we lose a lot, but okay. So
Take 3, 22.
Alright. So we have a Phantasmal Image. We can either copy his Blade Splicer, or we can copy our Augur Bolus. And I actually am not sure what the right one is here. Like, if we copy his Blade Splicer, we add pressure to the board, but he has so many cards in his deck, like Thragtusk or Restoration Angel, that just, like, go over the top of that I think I'd actually rather dig deeper into our deck.
Sure.
So I'm going to copy Aggro Bolus. We'll see how that works.
And whiff again.
And we hit Forbidden Alchemy, so it's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and...
Yeah, there's no reason not to go ahead and
there's no reason not to. If I may want to take a land out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you do have 2
So-
alchemies in the yard now, so hitting a land's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah. Instead of hitting a land, though, I'm going to hit a Deadweight, and I'm going to Deadweight the Blade Splicer. I'm choosing the Splicer in case he draws an Angel. Yeah. If he had an Angel, I would have probably gotten blown out in combat, so... So it's pretty safe to say he didn't. Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and cast this sword, even though I can't equip it, but if I draw a way to deal with the Stony Silence, I can, so...
Yeah.
Festering. Like, I have 2 more Oblivion Rings and 2 Acidic Slimes in my deck at the moment, so...
Alright, so that's good. We can begin flashing back our Alchemy. We also have Lingering Souls,
Yeah,
but I think flashing back an Alchemy is a little higher impact than a Lingering Souls. So
I agree.
We're going to send for 5.
Yep.
The old 1x beats.
17.
Go.
Generally, when your opponent is flashing back Forbidden Alchemy and you're not killing him the next turn, you're usually dead. 3 lands, that's good, I guess. Hopefully the 4th is also a land, but I doubt it.
Well, today is your lucky day, because it was a land.
Don't feel like today is my lucky day.
Alright. Boom. 5.
Down to 12.
Right, he's down to 12, and we're going to flashback Alchemy again, probably. So, say go.
Go.
Alright. Flashback. One of these in here somewhere.
Sure.
And really digging for this, actually. Is exactly what we were digging for. I'll show you. So, since our 3rd Sun Titan was on the bottom from one of our augers. We weren't hitting that for a while.
Sure. Alright, so BBD's ahead 3-1 right now. We're going to go ahead and play the 5th game out, I think, just for continuity purposes. I want to see if I can win the next game on the play. I don't know if I want to change anything in my sideboard. Maybe I do want the Green Sun Zeniths because they can get Acidic Slime. And I feel like his Believing Rings have been a pretty important part of him keeping a lot of my more dangerous threats in check. So we're going to maybe look at bringing these 3 back in.
Yeah, Believing Ring has been huge for me, and like neutralizing swords, Restoration Angel, Hero, etc.
I think I'm going to cut down on a Strangerootgeist since you have so many whatchamacallums.
Augers?
Yeah, and I think I'm actually going to cut the Thragtusks since you do have
Image
to copy it, and that would be really bad for me if you did.
Yeah, actually, I think that's reasonable. I haven't seen Image much, but I do, have 3 images, so.
Yeah. Do you have 2 main, 1 board, or do you have 4 after board?
2 main, 1 board.
Okay. Alright, game 5. Let's see if I can keep from getting embarrassed.
Alright, let's see if Todd can continue to brick off, and I can continue to rip Sun Titans when I need them. So.
Yeah, if I get 4-1, I'm going to be kind of upset, but, I mean, maybe this, I'm pretty sure this is not a great matchup for me, so.
Yeah, agreed. I think this isn't, this is a matchup that's in my favor, so.
Unfortunately, we cannot keep this hand. So pretty, though.
I am going to keep this hand, but, I mean, one of the things with this deck is you're never going to look at, like, a nut draw hand, because there just is no nut draw.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much always just, like, these are the hands you're just always going to be keeping, so.
It's like lands and
like,
spells. Like, you have a few removal spells, a few card draw spells, and a Sun Titan.
Yeah, it's like, this could be anything, just depends on what the top 15 cards on my deck are, so.
Could even be a boat.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe a go for the boat, just for value, so.
Shouldn't give away free information like that, Brian. It's not healthy for playtesting.
Yeah, what he doesn't know is.
Alright, keep. So this hand is pretty straightforward, like, pass turn. We're just casting dudes and attacking. Pretty much what this deck does. Ranch.
Alright, we are at the ripe life total of 18. Not the worst, not the worst.
Augur Bulls.
We're going to play an Augur Bolus, something that Todd has probably never seen before.
This makes me throw up. Yes! It doesn't even matter, though, because it's just breaking off my whole team.
Yeah. They do call me Brick James for a reason, so.
This is gross. I'm going to Believing Ring your Augur Bolus and crack.
16.
I'm not sure if that's the right play, but I feel like I need to. I'm also not going to play this land because if I draw a Razor Ridge Thicket, it's going to make this pretty awkward. So.
Well, that was what I wanted to draw, so that makes me happy.
A Believing Ring, a Believing Ring.
No, we're going to ponder. And yes, we will keep all these.
Can you tell that I get flustered when I start to lose a lot?
Yeah. No, actually, no, I haven't been able to tell that. Does that happen? I don't. Alright, so we're going to order them like this because next turn we want to jam this and get this, but we want to have drawn this in the meantime. So,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you'll find out.
Augur Bolus.
Let's go for the Bird of Paradise's Throat.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Exactly what I wanted to draw.
14. Wow, this mono green aggro deck is really beating us down. I feel the need to dagger Todd always when he's kick him while he's down. Let's go ahead and play Aggro Bolus
Sure.
for maximum value. And ooh,
You hit one.
interesting.
Oh man.
Yeah, I hit one. The one that was on the ponder. Yeah, I'm not sure here which one we want of these. I actually think I kind of want this. Yeah, I actually do want this. Let's go with Revoke Existence.
Sure.
And I'm going to revoke that. I'm going to get another Aggro Bolus. And Ponder. We choose Ponder there because we want to dig for lands. So, done. Okay.
Pretty good top deck, but I mean we're so far behind at the moment that I don't even know if that's going to help us. Yep. And it's pretty likely he has an answer.
Alright, so...
I'm going to play a takesy backsy moment. I'm going to play my land.
Okay, sure. We're gonna keep like this. Yeah, we're gonna keep like this.
I'll go fall asleep over here, waiting on Brian to kill me. No.
Get stoned. I'm gonna 1 you as well.
Okay. 19.
Go ahead.
Stone 1 Jackson. This is the most frustrating thing ever. Go.
I find it somewhat humorous, but maybe that's just me.
You know there was a old school WCW wrestler named Hugh Morris?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's-
His finishing move was no laughing matter.
I approve of everything that I've heard in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. He did like
Yeah.
a backflip off the ropes.
That is definitely pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Keep this, play our land for the turn. Let's see, next turn, we're actually still not going to crack this Evolving Wilds because we want to draw the card that's on top, but we will send in 1 Augur again.
18.
Go ahead.
Go.
Okay.
Why'd you have to come up Birds of Paradise, Brian?
And actually, yeah, I forgot that we set up those lands incorrectly, but it's send this guy in again.
17.
I don't think it's gonna matter. It was definitely a misplay, but I'll say go. I'll go ahead and crack this water on the turn. Get a plains.
Cast a Acidic Slime.
Yeah. That
I will
happens.
target your Vault of the Archangel. And I'm doing that. See, I'm actually getting a little mad right now. I know that's not really what I'm supposed to be doing. I do apologize. I just don't like, sitting there doing nothing for like 5 turns. But basically, I'm killing the Vault of the Archangel because a Vault plus Augur Bolus just stonewalls my Sword of War piece. Even worse than like the Stony Silence does because I'm having to like, use mana to equip. And he's still gaining life. The Stony Silence, I have another answer for it in my hand, but I had no other answer for a Vault of the Archangel other than the Acidic Slime, so...
Assume you're not attacking or anything?
No.
Alright. Alright, so... our play here is going to be this Sun Titan. And we can get back Evolving Wilds or Vaults. I think we're going to get back Evolving Wilds because next turn we can attack and get back Vault on the attack to use it if we need to.
Sure.
So, I'll get back Wilds and say go.
Alright, and this is the scooping point. I just have 4 white spells that I can't cast. So.
Yeah, I'm playing this next turn, so.
Sweet. 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 Alright. Well, that was all the 5 games that I want to play with this match. I mean, obviously, I think that the Solar Flare deck is favored.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I can't really come back from multiple Days of Judgment. If you have an answer for my sword, I just can't really do much. And like this deck obviously doesn't have the best mana base in the world, so
yeah, I mean it's kind of it speaks to like how bad the mana base is that you can only play 2 Gavany Townships in your 2-color deck.
Right.
Because you need like the double green, the double white. So yeah.
All right, well that was embarrassing, and so the green-white deck obviously doesn't match up very well against Solar Flare. Day of Judgment seems like a real big problem. What are your thoughts on the matchup?
Yeah, Solar Flare just seemed like way ahead in that matchup. Day of Judgment, it's like the ultimate equalizer, and then the end game of like Sun Titan just goes over the top of whatever.
Yeah, I mean, even if I had a Sword of War and Peace, I mean, you had plenty of answers and just a bunch of ways to kill all of my creatures, not just like with Day of Judgment. I mean, you also had Go for the Throat. Oblivion Ring could handle either the sword or the creature.
Right.
And I just didn't feel like I was in any of the games except for the first one, which I squeaked by or whatever.
Yeah, the one I mulled to 5 or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was game 2.
That was game 2.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I mean, you mulled the 5 on that one. So, but any game where you had like a reasonable draw, I just felt very far behind. So.
Yeah, I agreed. And like, I even felt like, I mean, I had stuff like Elish Norn that just didn't show up until like the end of the match. That would have also thrown those matches like way in my favor. So.
Yeah. But from my side, I mean, I like the green-white deck okay. Obviously, I think it's better suited against like a Delver deck. Perhaps just like the zombie decks, like they can't really handle all your 2-for-1s. I mean, every game that I played against you, I never really got the Restoration Angel Blade Splicer interaction because you just had Day of Judgment every time, either before or after I did it. So it didn't really gain me a lot of board presence.
Yeah, that's one of like the calling cards of Solar Flares. It's like very good against the green creature decks.
Right.
And like one of the reasons is just it has so much disruption for the synergies and those decks can present.
Right.
Like it has like it just makes the Restoration Angel Blade Splicer, Restoration Angel, Thragtusk stuff like so much less effective.
Yeah, I mean the way that those decks win is by just like creating this insurmountable board presence, and that's one of the benefits of playing Solar Flares that you just don't care about that kind of a board presence because Day of Judgment will just reset the board.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be different if like some of the creatures were indestructible, or if I was like splashing blue for mana leak or something like that, where I could apply pressure, create an insurmountable board state, and also have a backup answer to something like a Day of Judgment. But I just felt very cold to any big spell.
Yeah, like one of the great things Solar Flare does is it kind of has like a 2-pronged way to get you, because if you don't apply enough pressure to the board, then you won't beat Sun Titan.
Right.
But if you apply too much, then Day of Judgment just gets you.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like caught between a rock and a hard place.
And that's one of the reasons why I think that Delver usually is favored against Solar Flares, because it can apply just the right amount of pressure early enough. Like a Geist of Saint Traft on the play on turn 3, if you don't have a Phantasmal Image to deal with it, is like enough pressure just by itself, along with like a single mana leak to really just like hammer the game home. So
right, you just need to counter like one or maybe 2 spells.
Yeah, just like a leak and a Snapcaster Mage, or a leak and another leak or whatever. So, but I mean, obviously, the deck maybe needs a little work with the mana base. Right now, it plays like 9 forest, 4 plains. Maybe it should go to 8 and 5. To give it a little more of a push towards the white sources, since I felt like I was a little shy on white sources more than green.
Right.
I don't think you want 4 Stranguru Geist in the main deck. I mean, even though you have Rancor, and it's pretty good with Rancor, there are too many ways, I think, to kill creatures in response to Rancor. So maybe even Rancor's not that good in the deck. I don't know. I mean,
I do like the interaction between Rancor and Sword of War and Peace, though. I like that a lot because
that seems really cool.
You get the trample, so your War and Peace is going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I do agree that like you have double green and Strangleroot Geist, you have double white and Hero Bladehold, and it's very tricky to like cast both those cards. So something has to kind of get.
Yeah, we only have 2 dual lands. I mean, we could play Evolving Wilds, but that feels really gross.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for my side of the deck. I mean, it felt very generic. It didn't really attack from more than just the one angle. Like I had like swords, which were kind of good. They threatened you, but you were able to deal with them. I mean, I wasn't really attacking you in anything. I mean, you just played like a few creatures to block, and then I just did nothing. So
yeah, the one interesting thing about the Solar Flare deck that I want to talk about is the Augur Boluses.
Yeah.
And I happened to just basically draw like all my Augurs every single game. So we really got to test those.
Are you playing 4 or 3?
3, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure exactly how I feel about them. Like, they were very good against Strangleroot Geist, and like they get around the swords and things like that. But like I did brick a lot on them. It kind of feels like you're wasting a card when you brick. So.
Sure, but I mean, then maybe that's just due to like the deck's not quite built right. To make Augur good. I mean, sure, like some of the cards you're putting on bottom are like cards that you want to draw, but that's just kind of like part of the randomness factor of cards like Augur of Bolus.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, like, if you want to play an Augur Bolus deck, I think that's why it's so good in, like, the Random Delver and Talrand decks, is because you have, like, 24, 26 instants and sorceries, and you have, like, a lot of ways, like, Ponder to really, like, set you up. And I know you have Ponder, too.
Right.
When your deck's digging for spells or lands, like, you have way more lands in your deck, and, like, when you Augur, you almost always want to hit... Or the Delver decks almost always want to hit a spell, whereas you don't always want to hit a spell. You sometimes need to hit it like a land or something. So.
Yeah, or a Sun Titan. Like, a lot of my Augurs would be like something like a Sun Titan and 2 lands, or like an O-Ring, a Sun Titan, and a land. Or, like, I mean, I do have 21 instant sorceries, so it's going to hit pretty often.
Do you think it's...
but most of the time I kind of wished it was a Ponder.
Yeah,
like,
would you rather have less Oblivion Ring so you have more instants and sorceries? Or was Oblivion Ring just too good?
I think Oblivion Ring is too good. I actually think that... most Solar Flare lists make the mistake of playing too few Oblivion Rings.
Fair enough.
I would definitely play 3. So.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that was our conclusion for Green-White versus Solar Flare. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll be back next week with some Modern featuring Affinity and...
Rug Delver.
So it should be a pretty sweet match. Tune in next week to check it out, and we'll see you soon.
See you later.